Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, FNM MP Frederick McAlpine hits back at the party's chairman, says he has no plans of leaving the FNM. A third case of swine flu confirmed. Several men hauled before the court. Find out why.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine is firing back at critics who say he should be ousted from the party over his outspoken opposition to the Minnis administration. McAlpine says if they think he is outspoken now, imagine if he was no longer an FNM insider. Jasmine Brown reports.
McAlpine, who has seemingly been at odds with the Free National Movement over the last few months, says the last thing they would want to do is kick him out of the party.
So it's difficult for me to leave something that I helped to build. But if the party chooses to throw me out, listen, I'm going to just say this straight out and just leave it as it is. If you think I'm a problem now, and I'm being very nice, I speak to policies and not personalities. If you think I'm trouble now, can you imagine me outside the party? I'm being very cordial, very congenial, and very respectful. If I'm out of the party, I don't have to be none of that. So can you imagine me outside of the party with the information that I have and have been receiving? I'm not sure they want me outside.
When asked if that was a threat, McAlpine said this.
No, that's not a threat to the FNM. That is a reality. In other words, I'm saying I'm trying to be congenial. I'm trying to play ball. But you won't even allow me to express. You're the coach. But when I'm telling you why we lose in the game, you're upset. Why? What is McAlpine saying that the people of the Bahamas is not saying? Or is it that you have a problem with the messenger and not the message?
The outspoken FNM MP was responding to Free National Movement Chairman Carl Kummer, who called McAlpine a hypocrite for supporting a protest outside Parliament last week and challenged the Pine Ridge MP to decide if he was with the party or not.
The energy the chairman takes to fight me, he should put that energy in trying to convince the party to do better with its PR and to do better in trying to advance the governance of the Bahamas through the party.
Last Wednesday, hundreds of protesters gathered at the Bahamas Power and Light headquarters on Blue Hill Road and marched to Parliament Square chanting, "Minnis gotta go." Before entering the House of Assembly, McAlpine joined protesters who expressed outrage over several issues, including increasing electricity bills and the Oban energy deal. Culmer called the protest a failure that was orchestrated by the Progressive Liberal Party. McAlpine disagreed, saying he believes participants were Bahamians who are simply fed up. Despite criticizing his party on several issues, including a VAT hike, McAlpine insisted he is not a renegade, adding it boils down to performance.
I'm not a renegade, let me indicate this so that people can understand. There was a time I was with the PLP. When I was with the PLP, there wasn't a problem, I had a problem with the then leadership and I left. Okay, I was subject to the leader of the PLP. I was there with Sir Lyndon. I was there with Mr. Christie when something came about and I felt that I was treated unfairly. I left. I served under Hubert Ingram. Did you see me? I served for 5 years. Did you see me carrying on or having to carry on? No.
When asked if he regretted any of his actions, McAlpine said no and insisted if the FNM ignores the cries of the people, the party has no chance in the next general election.
This really boils down to performance. Not personality, performance. So McAlpine is not a renegade. I'm just speaking what is actually factual, what people expect. And they expect more, particularly from the Free National Movement. There's a certain standard that they're used to when the Free National Movement is in governance. And right now we are way below standard.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, another case of the swine flu has been confirmed here in the Bahamas, bringing the total number to 3. The health minister urging Bahamians to get the flu vaccine as one of those confirmed cases involves a child.
Last year in the United States, 80,000 people died from influenza. So far in the Bahamas, at least one person has died. This is not a game. This is serious business.
According to the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the 2018 flu season is more damaging and dangerous than any other since the swine flu epidemic of 2009. In the Bahamas, the health minister is predicting a very busy flu season as well. This as he revealed the third lab-confirmed case in a week, one of them being a child less than 12 years old. But here's the thing.
Now, that doesn't mean that there have only been 3 cases of H1N1 influenza in the Bahamas. And the reason why I say that is because we do not typically do laboratory viral cultures in the public sector. So there could be 10, there could be more.
The health minister has been mum on details surrounding these cases of swine flu, including nationality, gender, and age, despite our news pressing for more information.
It is with us. Every single country has influenza. Every single country. It didn't come from Miami. It didn't come from Tijuana. It didn't come from Jamaica. It didn't come from Cuba. It didn't come from Haiti. It came from us. Okay. This is worldwide. Okay, and I don't want Bahamians to believe that we are being invaded.
However, with the flu season upon us, here's what you can do.
Wash your hands frequently. If you're a child or you are sick, stay home. Don't go and contaminate your office. All right? If you have a flu-like illness, stay home.
The flu shot, according to SANS, is available at every government clinic free of charge. And as the call is made for more Bahamians to get their flu shots, I took advantage of the opportunity.
Okay, so we good to go. You left. I gotta use this arm.
Get him on camera.
Yeah, get him good.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So just gonna clean the area right here. And then that wasn't bad. Was
No.
Told you.
Yeah, it was much easier than I thought, man.
That's fast. I don't even know what.
You told me this needle was like.
And that's it.
Well, 21-year-old Chavez McPhee, seen here in the dark blue and yellow shirt, was charged today with abetment to murder. It is alleged that on November 12th, McPhee aided and abetted in the death of Centavio Lord. McPhee, also known as Bones, was not required to enter a plea and will return to court on February 8th. 22-year-old Newton Bowe also stood before Chief Magistrate Joy Ann Ferguson Pratt. Bowe is charged with armed robbery. It is alleged that on Friday, November 9th, Bowe, being concerned with another, used a knife to rob Christopher Nixon of a red Yamaha bike valued at $1,500. He was further charged with receiving for the same. Bowe and his family members shared a tearful embrace in court before he was hauled off to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. He will return to court on February 8th, 2019. Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper is slamming the Ministry of Finance's 2018 Fiscal Strategy Report, saying it comes as no surprise that the government missed its self-imposed targets. This is the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance fired back, saying the PLP is no stranger to missing targets. Here's Jasmine Brown.
When we look at the trends, I'm not surprised that the government is projecting that they're not going to meet their targets.
PLP Deputy Leader Chester Cooper slammed the government's failure to lower the deficit as promised, adding that he, like many others, are not surprised by the results of that 2018 Fiscal Strategy Report.
Notwithstanding, they've reduced public service costs by $62 million. They've reduced the spending in public infrastructure by $41 million. They still can't achieve their deficit in a year where there are no natural disasters. So the minister might forgive me if I am not impressed, but certainly when we look at the deficit compared to last year, and if we make an adjustment for the fact that there's been no hurricanes, I don't see considerable difference, any significant difference between the year before and this year. So certainly he might wish to explain his numbers. I'm only quoting them back to him.
In response to Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest insisted the previous fiscal year saw a reduction in the deficit of $246 million from that of the final year of the former PLP government. Turnquest also noted that the former PLP administration missed its deficit target in that year by $561 million. He said, from the fiscal year 2014-2015 through 2016-2017, the former administration missed its deficit targets by 33%, 120%, and 561% respectively. He added, in none of the 5 years of its term did the former administration meet its budgeted revenue targets. Cooper said the government must focus more on growing the economy and less on playing the blame game. However, he insisted the Minnis administration has no vision or plan to do so.
Stop the deflection, get on with the management of the fiscal affairs of the country, and see how we can move our country forward. So revenues are down, they're spending like drunken sailors. They talked about how the PLP spent so much, but yet, I mean, when we look at their overshoot of their own deficit projections, we see a 33% overshoot of the deficit.
Cooper says the PLP will wait for the mid-year budget numbers to tell the true story of the government's fiscal position, especially following the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort on Grand Bahama and the plan to renovate it at a cost of $3.5 million. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Still to come, the Ragged Island MP accuses government of neglecting his constituency more than a year after Hurricane Irma. Plus, what it's like to rock climb. Stay tuned.